Hi everyone, this video is going to be a swatch and first impressions slash review for the latest Patrick Starrr collaboration collection with MAC. There have been a few of them kind of in a row in a short period of time with Patrick Starrr. This one is a summer collection. The description on MAC's website says, "Feel the heat in the tropical chic shades of Patrick Starr's newest collection. Reflect rays in opalescent face powder or dive in all the way with Summer Starrr, a full face kit featuring sun-warmed bronzing powder, 2 sandy lip gloss shades, and heat stroke. An eyeshadow, 4-pan eyeshadow palette, perfect for steamy summer nights. Settle into Starr's high glamour cabana with every single hot and heavy hue." So this is kind of an interesting collection because it has one part where it's the full face kit. So it's the 4 items that I just described in one kit together. You have to buy all of those things in one kit. You don't get to pick and choose. That retails for $49.50. And then separately is the opalescent powder, which is the highlighting powder, and that retails by itself for $34. So in terms of first impressions, it just seems interesting to me that in the kit you would get 4 items, an entire eyeshadow palette, and a full-size bronzing powder, and 2 full-size lip glosses for something under $50. But then separately, the highlighting powder, which is just one product by itself, is $34. So you obviously get a huge value by buying the kit. But then, on the other hand, the downside of buying the kit is that a lot of people will naturally not really want all 4 of those things in the kit. They're going to want just the lip glosses or just the bronzing powder. So you are probably having to pay for some things that you don't really want. And then on the flip side, the highlighting powder, I can't help but feel like this is very strategic on MAC's part because the highlighting powder is a lot of times the most attractive thing in a collection. And so it seems like they didn't put it in the kit because they knew people would pay full price for it alone. And if they put it in the kit, then people would be getting a much better value on getting several items in the kit, and they wouldn't be getting the full value for paying for the highlighter separately, if that makes sense. Anyway, those are just some random thoughts. In general, I do really like this packaging. I like the teal color that it has. It does have a nice summer vibe to it. So without further ado, let's get actually into swatching these products and seeing how they perform, what the colors look like, etc. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on giveaways. The Profusion giveaway winner was chosen last week, and she was contacted with her makeup prizes. So if you want to be eligible for those kinds of giveaways, make sure you're subscribed and keep up on these videos. And if you haven't checked out the latest video, which I did a little bit differently for this month, which was some of my daily new product favorites. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and I'll link it there for you to see. All right, let's get looking into and swatching the new Patrick Starrr #3 collaboration collection with MAC for summer 2018. All right, so let's start by swatching the items in the full face kit, which, as I mentioned, is $49.50. It's called the Summer Starrr Full Face Kit and includes these 4 items. So let's first look at the bronzing powder. It says that this contains light reflecting bronzing pigments, provides a natural sun-kissed look for a wide variety of skin tones. And just to give you a perspective on the value you get by buying this in a kit, separately, MAC's bronzing powders in terms of price usually hover somewhere around $28. So here is what the shade looks like, and the name of this shade is called Give Me Life. All right, on an angled powder brush, I've picked up a healthy amount of the powder, and I'm swatching it with initially 1 layer here. Okay, and I'm going to add a second one just to build it up for you. This shade is described as a soft golden brown. I think it definitely has a slight orange and warm tone to it. And just for comparison, I'll do a heavy swatch with my finger. I'm gonna layer that again. This is, to the touch, a bit of a drier formula. Okay, and here is what the finish and the color looks like up close. You can see more of that warmth in that really heavy swatch there. I wouldn't say under artificial light that this really has any sort of obvious shimmer to it. It has a slight sheen, and I would expect that under sunlight you would see a little bit more of that shimmer, because if you put your face really up close there, you can see really micro shimmer in there, so that will become more obvious if you are stepping into bright sunlight. Alright, next up is the 4-pan eyeshadow palette, and the name of the eyeshadow palette is Heat Stroke. And again, for comparison, the standalone eyeshadow quads from prior Patrick Starrr collections were around $32. Here are what the 4 shades look like up close. And as always, I'm going to swatch these over eyeshadow primer. I'll start on the top and go left to right. So this upper left corner shade is called Sandy Crotch, which is such a ridiculous name for an eyeshadow, but that's the name. Then we move on to the upper, did I say upper right the other time? We start with the upper left, and now we're moving on to the upper right hand corner, and this shade is called Brash. Moving on to the lower left hand corner, this shade is Ruddy, and then the shade in the lower right hand corner is called, I don't actually know how to pronounce this. Is it Mabuhay? M-A-B-U-H-A-Y. I'm sure many of you will tell me what the pronunciation is in the comments below. Alright, with a flat eyeshadow brush, we start with Sandy Crotch, which is a muted orange. It says a muted orange with pearl, but then it's a matte finish, which I don't really understand. Second is Brash, which is a pinkish brick with gold shimmer. This has a beautiful, smooth, pigmented Velux pearl finish. Third is Ruddy, which is an intense red with gold shimmer. This likewise has a Velux pearl finish. You can see that it's opaque, goes on smoothly, it's pretty intense. And fourth is Mabuhay, or however you pronounce it. This is a deep peachy brown. It says with pink shimmer. And this has, again, a matte finish, but it's supposed to have shimmer in it. Okay, there is the eyeshadow palette up close and swatched. I'm actually very impressed by the quality of these shadows. I didn't apply any sort of powder on top of that primer, so it's applied straight over primer. All of these shades have very good color, and they apply really smoothly. So that's a very good sign for how they will hold up in application. And last up, in terms of what comes in the kit, are these 2 lip glosses. So these are supposed to provide a glass-like shine and condition and smooth the lips. And for comparison, separate lip glosses usually hover somewhere around $17 each. So this top shade up here is called Cream Pie, and the shade on the bottom is called Fashion Punch. And in terms of the packaging, these tops seem to be a little more lightweight. I don't know if I just haven't played around with recent incarnations of the lip gloss packaging or not, but anyway, this is what the applicator looks like. It is a slanted doe foot applicator. So first here is Cream Pie. This is a mid-tone neutral pink, and it looks like this just has a cream finish. It doesn't have any sort of shimmering particles in it. And second is Fashion Punch. This is a pale peach. I would say it's got a slight brown tone to it too. And it also looks like this one has very small gold shimmer particles in it. Okay, here are your two lip gloss shades up close. If you want to see what these look like applied to my lips, as well as a review for all of these products that are done after they're fully tested, make sure you see the description box below for links to those reviews that have further photos. And we finish with the opalescent powder. It's called Hot and Heavy, that's the name of the shade. And as I mentioned before, this is a standalone product that you buy separately and that retails for $34. The description of this highlighting powder on the website says, "This opalescent face powder reflects rays in a neutral tan shade with gold shimmer. Adds the perfect high-impact shimmering glow to skin. Features a chevron embossed design and matching turquoise and tropical chevron packaging. It's supposed to have excellent color payoff, a rich and creamy texture. It's supposed to blend effortlessly also." This is what the shade and pan looks like up close. You can see that chevron pattern embossed on the pan. Alright, so again, with a angled powder brush and over some setting powder, translucent powder, here is the first layer. Okay, here's a second layer applied, although I don't think you need it. And again, Hot and Heavy is described as a neutral tan with gold shimmer. Okay, and once again, just for comparison's sake, here is a heavier swatch. Alright, so there is the opalescent powder up close. Again, to the touch, it does have a nice soft, creamy texture. It has applied to the skin in a smooth manner. It does have a nice highlighting finish with just one layer, but for the effect on the camera, and so you can see what it looks like build up, there's two layers swatched here for you. Alright, so there you have the summer collection from Patrick, Starrr, and MAC. Overall, I think I'm kind of impressed with this collection in terms of the quality. I wasn't really expecting too much, just because it's a smaller collection, and usually I'm not a huge fan of the kits where you have all these products together. And at the end of the day, I'm never really going to be a huge fan of any sort of lip gloss. I just think it's expensive for the effect that you're getting. But I do think that the bronzing powder had a good finish and applied well. And I'm very impressed by the eyeshadow quad. All of the shades in the quad performed really, really well. And it's hard to find that in MAC's line to get a palette where each and every color performs to a high standard. So if you are even vaguely interested in at least 2 of the 4 products that is in that kit, then you are going to get your money's worth by buying those items together. As far as the highlighting powder, I think it's a lovely highlighting powder also. I don't think it's a unique shade at all. I think you can find that shade in a lot of different places, not just with MAC's other products, but with drugstore lines too. But if you are particular to Patrick Starrr or to the packaging that comes with this collection, then I think that in terms of the quality of the powder, that's there also. So as I mentioned before, if you're looking for more in-depth reviews and to have some of your questions answered after I actually test these out on the face and wear them around throughout several days, then please make sure you see the description box. I put links there to the written reviews that I post after I do some testing, and hopefully those will answer any questions that you have about the products. Let me know what your other thoughts are in the comments section below. I hope that this video was helpful to you if you were thinking about maybe purchasing something from the collection. The highlighting powder is sold out on MAC's website, but you should be able to find it in other places such as in stores or through Nordstrom or even Ulta now. All right, as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.